Paul, I think you made this comment before we started the webinar for today, but you made a comment that may be controversial, maybe not to some people on this call, but you don't care about the Filecoin price. Why is that, and how does that relate to your call to action to the community?
Okay, so the Filecoin, there's a great film called Crocodile Dundee, and there are two fleas arguing about who owns the dog. And I just thought that was a fantastic metaphor for understanding what matters. So when it comes to the Filecoin price, I understand the people who joined early, they've got investors, they will have issues. I have empathy for people who have made investments. But if we look at the long term, if we look at where things are going, if we look at the utility of Filecoin, if we look at the growth path of data, every 2 years we're going to double. So we're talking about petabytes, zettabytes. We're looking at an unbelievable scale. And actually, for this to work, we have to get people to pay us fiat. It's an island economy. Can we really ever survive on the price of Filecoin? And I don't think so. I think we're going to have to be paid in some way that is not going to be Filecoin. We're providing a valuable service. If people are prepared to pay for storage on Amazon, on Google, if they're prepared to pay dollars to build bridges, to lay fiber optics, why wouldn't they pay to store data? When data is the most critical thing to any company, why wouldn't you pay for that? It just seems to me beyond logic that people wouldn't pay for their most important assets. So I just see the token as a way of doing micropayments, to deal in tiny amounts of currency that allows us to do really interesting things. Tiny little payments so that we can share data with an organization. I think the future business models are just going to blow us away, and we can only do that because of the number of decimal places that we can achieve in Filecoin. You just cannot do it in dollars or pounds or shillings or whatever. That's the personal view. I know that's going to probably upset a few people, but I just think if we look at the bigger picture, the opportunities for growing the storage, for the compute over data, some amazing things are coming along. I discovered World ID the other day. You can just imagine how that's going to fit into Filecoin, having our data preserved, all this kind of stuff.
Paul, we look forward to seeing you in the community, in the calls, and on the streets. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you all for joining this month's episode of 0 to 1. Stay tuned next week, where we dive into how to drive customer demand with RealSpot founder Juan Manuel Gachagare.